It's kind of like that meme, the whole 20 seconds after saying it's over, we're saying we're back in terms of a championship fight of some sort. Lando Norris won in Austria, the track where he got his first podium, by the way. He gets his first ever Austrian win. Early in this race, we saw him and Oscar Piastri actually somewhat fighting for the lead. Piastri was staying within DRS that whole first stint. Attempted a couple of moves. Didn't quite get them to work. Almost wiped out Lando Norris on one of them. But then after that, it wasn't quite a runaway for Lando Norris, but it was never really in question. Even that final stint when Piastri got within 1.3, it never really truly felt like it was in threat. So Lando Norris has cut into the championship lead a week or 2 weeks, whenever the last race was, after driving straight into the back of his teammate. Piastri, who had won 4 or 5 out of 6 races, whatever it was, he was on an insane streak. Then they go to Canada, and Lando Norris has a great opportunity to make a pass on Piastri late in the race, get some points back on him, and he just drives straight in the back of him. Loses all these points, makes a dumb error, and just, it's not quite a crisis, but it's a disaster for him, because you could have gained points on Piastri that day, once again tightened the title fight, but instead you wreck yourself and you lose a huge chunk of points. And how does he respond? He comes to Austria, a track that he's run well at historically, and he dominates the weekend. He's on pole, he looks great in practice, leads about every lap today. I know Piastri led a couple through the pit cycle, but Lando Norris picks up the win. Big win for him. We saw some great battles throughout the field today. In the middle of this whole kind of somewhat fight for the win, we had Bortoleto and Alonso fighting for 7th place, like trying to exchange positions while they're also trying to yield to the leaders. Franco Colapinto, speaking of, oh my goodness, is getting lapped by Oscar Piastri. I don't know if he just thought Piastri was for position or if he just didn't check his mirrors, but runs Piastri into the grass. Yeah, that was not pretty. We'll talk about how everyone's day went when we look at the finishing results here. So Lando Norris, as I said, is your winner here today for the Austrian Grand Prix. Cuts the championship lead down to 15 points. Obviously, for the constructors, we already know McLaren's going to win that thing. But as I said, this win really never felt in question after that first stint. That first stint, it was like, okay, Oscar Piastri looks faster than him right now, or is it just the DRS? Like, if Piastri gets by him, is he going to run away with this thing? But Norris defended well, made sure to not get wrecked by Piastri. If Piastri didn't go over the line, he was trying his best to make it exciting. But after that, as I said, Norris pulled out to a 6-second lead that second stint, and Piastri closed it into 3. Looked like we were about to get another battle, but when he cut it down to 3, he had used up all his stuff and started to fall back a bit. That final stint, Piastri started about 4 seconds back, and then on raw speed, got it down to probably 1.7, 1.8 before it kind of just started to sway between 1.5 and 2.2, really. As I said, it was never really a threat. He never even got within DRS range or even close enough to be within DRS range. So as I said, it never truly felt like Piastri was going to get there or even get within DRS. So it felt like Lando Norris's race, unless obviously he made a mistake. So despite Norris feeling like the dominant guy here today, he never got a chance to kind of just cruise. He always had to kind of keep Piastri in the back of his mind because he could see him in his mirror. So a great win for Norris, as I said, especially to respond after what happened at Canada like that. That's a big deal for him. Cuts down the lead in the Drivers' Championship. As I said, Constructors' Championship, so that's a lock. As for second place, Oscar Piastri, started third in this race, was able to get to second almost immediately in turn 1. And that really gave him a chance to kind of close in on Norris, give himself a shot at winning. But ultimately, he couldn't get past him in that first stint, and that ultimately decided the day, it felt like, as I've said like a billion times here. So Piastri finishes second, still has the Drivers' Championship lead, but unfortunately not as good as Lando Norris today. Still holds that advantage on him in the points and the wins. Charles Leclerc picks up a podium for Ferrari. very quiet day for Ferrari, which is a good thing for them. They weren't anywhere near McLaren because no one's near McLaren right now, but no one was really close to them either. They were like a solid, just second best car. So third and fourth for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton still looking for that first Ferrari podium. Solid day for him. George Russell, a quiet fifth place day. Like everything from like third to fifth, quiet. And then this is where it gets noisy. This is where all the excitement was all day. Liam Lawson ends up finishing in sixth. Dude, Red Bull, that car must stink because Liam Lawson killing it in the Red Bull Junior. Isaac Hadjar killing it in the Red Bull Junior. But the main Red Bull team, like 99% of the points of Max Verstappen, who you don't see here, we'll talk about him in a bit. Liam Lawson, a great day. I think they did one stop in this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But a great day for him. A huge chunk of points in this. I think 8 points. 8 whole points. That's a really big deal for them. Great run for him. Had some great battles. Him, Alonso. So great job by Liam Lawson all day. Great weekend. Qualified well. I mean, just an overall really good weekend for him. Everything he's been through this year, obviously, looking back at the whole Red Bull situation and whatnot. But great job by him today to finish sixth, get a good chunk of points for that second Red Bull team. And yeah, seventh place was Fernando Alonso. As I said earlier, him and Bortoleto just having a fantastic battle for seventh at the end of this race. Taking the different lines, trying to somehow navigate past each other as the leaders are hounding down on them. You got to yield to the leaders. It was a great battle. Ultimately, Alonso won out, despite Bortoleto having the fresher tires. Ultimately, Bortoleto just didn't have enough time. But Gabriel Bortoleto, still, it's his first career points. It's a huge day for him. It's a huge day for Sauber. Sauber's expectations this year, they were so low heading into the season. Both their drivers have scored points now, and it's only race, I don't even know what race we're on, 10, 11, whatever race we're on. So, great day by him. I think he won driver of the day. If he didn't, he should have. Qualified well, perfect weekend for them. Nico Hülkenberg there for a double points finish for Sauber. Once again, just a fantastic weekend for him. I know Hülkenberg got, a top 5 a couple of weeks ago. So, Sauber having a fantastic season. Final point goes to Ocon. And then our non-points finishers are Behrman, Hadjar, Gasly, Stroll, Colapinto, who we already talked about. Yuki Tsunoda, did he wreck Gasly or Colapinto? He wrecked one of the Alpines. Just a typical, turn 4, the downhill right-hander. We've seen a lot of wrecks there. We've seen George Russell wreck Sergio Perez. We've seen Lewis Hamilton wreck Alex Albon. It happens there, and it happened once again. Albon did not finish, had a mechanical failure. Disaster of a day for Williams. Both of their cars with mechanical failure. Sainz didn't even start the race. His car was on fire. First of all, it didn't even start. They didn't want to make a formation lap, the car itself. And then by the time it made a formation lap, it decided to catch on fire. But as for Albon, he also had a mechanical failure. And then we get to Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli. Kimi, what was your plan, man? I get it, slap 1. You got to be aggressive. This is where you're going to make up the most positions. But my guy just sent it in from pretty far deep, and he made a couple passes for sure. He probably passed 3 or 4 cars, but he also just obliterated Max Verstappen, killed himself in the process. Just both cars out of the race, turn 2, turn 3, whatever that right-hander is. So, yeah, Antonelli felt pretty good heading into that corner, I guess, and made a mistake, wiped out Max Verstappen, and not the prettiest move. So, they both end up with DNFs, and then, as I said, for Carlos Sainz. So, Max Verstappen will be number 33 again next year. Good for him. Well, not really if you're a Max Verstappen fan or Max Verstappen. But Lando Norris cuts into the championship lead. Kimi Antonelli felt good for about 0.3 of a second. And Sauber on fire. So that's fun. Thanks for watching. I got to admit, I'm tired. Late race NASCAR recap. Up in the morning for the F1. So tomorrow night, not tonight, tomorrow night, Monday night, we'll do our Monday after live stream where we'll talk about all this in detail more. We'll make fun of my horrible NASCAR bracket that sucks. Look at all that red. Anything else we got to talk about? I'm going to put out a couple of posts tonight. I'm going to do a poll at some point. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't seen the NASCAR race recap, go check that out because that was a fantastic race last night.